We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Suzy Prudden, and welcome to Mastermind Live with Suzy Prudden on LA Talk Live, where we're more than just talk. I have a super duper guest for you today. She's not in the studio. She's calling in from Riverside. I met her. It's taken almost a year to get her on this show. I met her last year at a Laurel Langemeyer seminar, 3 Days to Cash, which is a whole other subject and one that I love. And Chris Miller has a program called Pretirement. And that is basically planning for your retirement. Because a lot of people in their 60s and 70s forgot to plan their retirement, and now they have no money. And so it's Chris's passion to help people have money so that when they do retire, they don't have to worry about it. Is she here yet? Not yet. Okay. So I have to talk until she gets here. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna call her to tell her to call me, and you can see how this all works. Okay. And what's the number here, Rich, for her to call? Is it? It's not there. 323. Up there. That one? 247? I'm so smart. I gave her the wrong number. Chris, wait. I gave you the wrong number. Dial 323-247-7443. Yep, we're waiting on you right now. Okay. Technology, I love it. Of course, I need Donna to help me with it most of the time, because I can't figure it out, and I do need to upgrade my phone, which is going to happen probably tomorrow, so that I can write it off. And she's here now. Welcome, Chris Miller.
Thank you. Great to be here.
It's an honor. It's an honor to have you on this show, and because you're going to save us all from going broke. Yes? Where'd you go? You just went someplace. No. Call back. Is she calling back?
Good day.
Hi, you're back. We missed you. We lost you for a little bit. Are you here now? No, she's not here. Okay. So I've got a lot of questions here. 7 out of 10 people over 65 will need long-term care during their lifetime. That's a lot of people, especially now when there are 10,000 baby boomers appearing, so to speak, every single day. That's a lot of people. Of these receiving long-term care today, 40% are 18 to 64 years old now. Average annual cost of a private nursing home room is about $76,000. That was done in 2008, and assisted living more than $35,000. Medicare coverage of nursing homes stays at home health care is limited, providing only 20% of total long-term care
Your mailbox or to contact
spending in the U.S. 50% of adults in the U.S. say they couldn't meet basic expenses if they became disabled. 7 out of every 10 of us will have a convalescent stay in a nursing home after age 65. One baby boomer turns 50 every 9 seconds. Oh, my goodness. I've been a baby boomer for 20 years. This year, boomers began reaching the traditional retirement age of 65 at the rate of about 1 every 8 seconds. An estimated 25% of the American population is classified as the sandwich generation. meaning they are parenting their own children and taking care of their parents at the same time. I have many friends in that category. Some estimates show that nearly 2/3 of the baby boomer generation will be taking care of an elderly parent in the next 10 years. As the sandwich generation grows, the need to understand aging dynamics and family relationships increases dramatically. So, how will you answer these questions? Are you ready to handle an unexpected financial crisis? That's a very good question. I didn't see that. She's on the phone now. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Okay. I've just been reading the questions. Why is estate planning so important? And if I couldn't work right now, I'd probably have to move out of the country because I couldn't afford to live here. I have a friend that I heard from yesterday who lives in Thailand because he can't afford to live here on his retirement, even though, he could afford to live here until 2008. And then when that debacle occurred, the money that he was living on disappeared, and so he moved to Thailand. And so it's scary. So how do you help people? How do you help people? Okay, I'm 70 now. It's a little late. I was not.
No, it's not too late. I work with people 90 years old.
Oh, good.
It's never too late. Serious.
Oh, good. I was having breakfast with my sister yesterday. We were talking about the fact that even though we were born rich and we managed to spend it all, there's a lot of people who've done that. And if I didn't have a company now, and if she weren't selling her books, we would be in real trouble at 70 and 75.
You and about 74% of the rest of the country, majority of the people are in trouble because the way everything is set up is really being set up to bankrupt everybody.
Well, that's happened to me twice already.
And unless you realize that there are really secrets that have been withheld from the average person, ways and safe places that you could put your money, right? Then unless you know about that, the people are going to miss opportunities.
Absolutely. So how do we find out about that?
Well, that's what I'm here to do. Is happy to help, and share the information. And it really, I've been planning, like you said, for 23 years. I've been in practice. But when I saw most of my clients coming in at 70 and 80 and not having anything ready, it really was, shocking. But it wasn't until it happened within my own family did it go down to the reality of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my mom and dad were the nightmare story of my business. They're not the kind of people you would imagine would be nursing home candidates. My dad was working out at the gym at his 80 years old, and my mom was with him in their late 70s with cancer at the gym working out. So they were in great shape, but they didn't have long-term care insurance. So when my mommy got cancer, she came up to me one day. I wish you would have seen her face. She was like, it changed my life. She had a big tear in her eye, and she handed me this piece of paper, and she said, I want you to share this with your clients. And I looked at this paper, and it was a bill from Stanford Hospital. And I looked down at the bill. It was 5 days of chemo. Guess how much it was?
I can't possibly. It's got to
be $90,000 for 5 days. $90,000. She had it 5 days every month for a year, right? So that was just 1 year.
$90,000 a month?
A month for chemo. So they were on Medicare, and on Medicare you co-pay 20%. It's devastating. Well, she had cancer for 10 years, and they didn't have long-term care insurance. So her home care for long-term care insurance was $15,000 a month.
Plus the 90.
Right. And plus not the other drugs and doctors and therapies and right. So $1 million really is not a lot of money. So what people should do, and I really recommend it, and you can do it all the way up to, it gets kind of pricey when you get in your 80s. You
Right.
can still get long-term care insurance. But at 70, Susie, you can get a good policy, and it won't kill you. You know, it might make you more comfortable, in fact.
Right.
But essentially, it's like car insurance, where you're giving them the liability to cover the whole expense.
Right.
So you get to stay in your own home, and that's where you want to stay. You don't want to go to a nursing home.
Oh no.
They're like prison camps.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You're right. Like prison camps.
My dad was in a nursing home, a very high-end Marriott nursing home, $500 a day. When he was actually working till he was 91, and then he fell. So he was in this nursing home, and he'd ring the buzzer to go to the bathroom, and he'd sit there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In a $500 a day nursing home. It's crazy. So the idea is to make yourself comfortable and set yourself up so that you can stay in your own home. Well, people are going, hey, I can hardly pay my bills. Where am I going to get this money to cover long-term care? And that's where the other secrets come in that I talk about in my book, Ready for Pre-Retirement. There's safe places that you can put your money and never lose your principal.
So where are those safe places? I'm going to start writing them down right now.
Okay, well, for my
First,
favorite place,
yeah.
and this is what I did back after the crash. You know what? I am burnt out losing money. So what I did is I got out of the stock market and got into what's called an equity index annuity with an income rider on it. Now,
repeat that.
Equity index annuity with an income rider on it. And I'll be happy to provide you and your listeners an illustration that shows you what I'm talking about.
So,
but what they do, let's just say you had an IRA, okay, and let's say it had $100,000 in it.
Okay.
You can roll that over, tax-free, get a 10% bonus on the money, so you make $10,000 just by rolling it over, and get ready for this. They will pay you 7% interest compounded for an income you'll never outlive. Can you believe that?
That's incredible.
I know. So that's what I did. I'm telling you what I own. I sell what I own. So I got out of the market and I rolled my money into that. So when the next crash came, I lost not one dime.
Oh, good for you.
And I'm really proud. I lost one dime of my clients' money in the last 23 years.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's almost unheard of.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing the book, doing the radio, and getting on TV and telling people about this, because it's nothing new. It's just not talked about.
So, Chris, how can people get in touch with you so they can get a list of what you're talking about and also purchase your book?
Absolutely. They can reach out to me. You can call me at 951-926-4158 or email me at Chris, K-R-I-S, at Ready for Pre-Retirement, READYFORPRETIREMENT.com. And I will be happy to have a chat with you and show you what I'm talking about.
Do you have a website?
Yes, my website is Ready for Pre-Retirement. That's the name of my book. And you go there. There's a free article on the site that talks about the 3 myths of financial planner. I am an out-of-box planner. I am a safe money strategist. And I talk about things that most people really haven't heard a lot about, because it's not what the mainstream wants.
So what are the 3 myths?
To come, again, to www.READYFORPRETIREMENT.com.
So what are the myths? You mentioned 3 myths.
Yeah, right. That's the 3 myths that I talk about in my book, 3 Secrets for Safe Money in the Fabulous Future. First one, Okay? We're kind of talking about it now. You got to risk your money to make money. Now, that's what we were all taught to believe. So we all go to school, we learn how to make money, we get out of school, we make money, and then what? What do? Most of us have no clue. We've never been trained in money.
No.
And then right. Then what do? You go to a broker that you probably don't like, and what does he do? He gambles your money.
I was just listening to that on my way here to the studio. I was listening to the Tom Hartman show, and he was talking about Wall Street and how really all Wall Street is gambling. It's just gambling money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I talk to people about the equity index annuities with an income rider on it, and I'm not going to go into all the different companies, but just the ones that I have found, people haven't heard about these.
No, I never have.
Them, why not? Well, brokers, I would make a lot more money if I sold stocks, because every time I move the stock, I make money. I make money when the stock is sitting there. Those brokerage accounts can go anywhere from 1 to 4% in admin fees. So I would make a lot more money if I did stocks. But you know what? It isn't all about making money. It's about doing good and helping people. So I really wasn't liking what was happening to me with my money, and I didn't like the feeling of losing money. So why would I do that for somebody else?
Right.
So I drilled down into my profession and found out about these products and was really shocked to find out that no one really knew about them. So that's one of the myths, is that you don't have to risk your money to make money. Now, for younger people that are, say, anywhere from 34 to 54, and I'm a little mad because I found out about this in my late 50s, so I missed the boat on this one. But this is where everybody should go. It's called an Index Universal Life Policy that's overfunded. In other words, life insurance is tax-free. You can take all the money out of it. So if you set one of these policies up and you overfund it, you can create 100% tax-free income for yourself that you'll never outlive.
And you can also use it, can't you, later on?
You can also what?
Can you use it later on? In other words,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a client, he was 38. He put $500 a month in one of these, and at 65, he was set to receive $82,000 a year for the rest of his life. Even when he ran out of principal, they guarantee paying you that as long as you live.
And that's the Index Universal Life Policy?
Right. That's overfunded. It has to be set up specifically, a special way. But then you access the chassis of life insurance to get the tax-free benefit with an income that you don't outlive.
Wow.
So I know. The insurance products really, there's some really creative things that you can do with them. And the nice things of what we're talking about is tax-free and tax deferral. Because whatever money we have to get it in that position.
Right.
Because they're gonna wipe everybody out with the taxes.
Right.
That are coming.
And what's the third myth?
Okay, another myth is that, let's say I own a home. Like in California, if you have $20,000 in real estate or $100,000 in assets, you're going through probate. What's probate? Courts. What do courts take? Attorneys. What do attorneys take?
Money.
Yeah, okay. So let's say I have some assets I want to leave my family. Well, everybody's been programmed that, I need to have a will. If something happens to me, I go to China or whatever. Something happens, I'll make sure my stuff goes to my family. But living trusts have been around since the Middle Ages. And living trusts let you leave what you have to your family without any middlemen. No attorneys, no courts, no special fees. They are a direct transfer from you to your loved ones or to your charity or whoever you're going to leave everything to. And that is called a revocable living trust.
Revocable?
revocable
Or
living
revocable.
trust. Yes.
Okay.
And a good revocable living trust will include a power of attorney for financial, and I don't care if you have money or not, a power of attorney for financial and a power of attorney for health care are very important. For example, if you go to the doctor and you want your own medical treatments, done the way you want them, you need to have the health care directive, or they're just going to take care of you according to your insurance policy.
Right.
So it's very important that everybody have the powers of attorney. You become incapacitated.
Right.
You need to make sure that all of that is in place. Here's another thing that passes over people's heads. Guardianships. Mom and Dad go out to dinner and don't come back. Who's going to take care of the kids? We all are not really thinking that those things could ever happen to us. They happen to everybody else. So it's really important, if you have minor children, that you have a guardianships provisions in your documents. So a good comprehensive living trust will include the guardianship, a conservatorship if you become incapacitated, powers of attorney for financial, health care, pour-over will, living will, and a deed. That's the whole good revocable living trust package. We give those away, and we only charge $797. They can go anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on
for
where
just
you
what
get
you
them.
would for what you're charging only $800 for.
That's correct. Absolutely. Because when I first started 2 decades ago, and I would volunteer I'm a paralegal, and I would volunteer at retirement centers. And I saw these little widows, and all they had was a house. And these attorneys would give them trust they didn't even need or they would charge them $5,000. I was outraged. So I decided, not only am I going to make a living, I'm going to make it easy for the average person to get one of these, because everybody needs them.
Right.
So, and this is, again, part of the education that was left out. So these systems are broken. In other words, the stock market model is a broken model.
Broken,
it
absolutely.
will never be the same.
Nope.
The baby boomers drove the market, and that baby boomers are going to crash the market. In 2 years, there are so many boomers that are going to retire and hit the market. And Medicare is just going to crash. It's just not going to make it. And so same with the health care. We're watching that all fall apart. So all of these systems are set up in an old, archaic way. And they're really not set up for people. They're almost set up against people. It wipes people's estates out.
So when you say Medicare is not going to make it, my understanding is that Medicare is completely separate from the government. The government has it's not run by the government. It's funded, and it has enough money.
Well, so the government has been borrowing money from Medicare. Yeah. They're borrowing money from everybody, even China, right?
Yeah. Oh, especially China. China probably owns half the United States, if not more, right now.
If not more, right.
Right. So how does someone protect themselves other than this index universal life policy or the equity index? I mean, for medical expenses, how does one protect oneself?
Well, for medical expenses, it's really important that you have the long-term care insurance. So because none of our insurances cover it. So any kind of insurance you have, from Obamacare to private insurance, if you have a catastrophic illness, you're going to pay out of your pocket. And that cost is going to be $170 to $500 a day. And it's 7 out of 10 of us over 65. So it's a very huge probability that most of us are going to have that problem. So we need to make sure that we get this. And you get it, of course, you can only want to get it when you're in good health. And just because you're 70, that is not an old age. I look at 100 as the marker. So you've got 30 more years, Suzy. That's how
Sounds
you
like
look
a
at
sentence.
it, right? and you want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I'm actually writing a book right now, Fit for Life After 60, because I figured I was a fitness expert in my 30s, then I got totally out of shape. So everybody who's still alive and bought my book 40 years ago will buy this book because it's going to get me back in shape. And I do notice the difference between how I felt 20 years ago and how I feel now physically. And if I don't do anything about it, it's just going to get worse. And so,
Right.
but it's interesting, Chris, because it's across the board. It's not just physically. It's not just what I eat. It's not the exercise. It's also planning financially, because I was not taught
Right.
money when I was growing up at all.
Right. Right.
And most of us who are baby boomers weren't. And I don't think kids today in school are being taught money.
No, not at all. The only thing that they're taught is to go to the broker and put your money in the stock market. That's all we know. That's all anybody's told. So that's why my whole mission is to educate people, and that's why I go and I'm a speaker. And if you have any groups, I go to speak at corporations, associations, churches, women's groups. Invite me. I'm a happy speaker.
I've invited you. You're going to speak at my California Women's Business and Finance Forum in October.
I know. I'm so excited. That's going to be such
excited.
a great event,
Yeah.
and I'm honored. I'm going to be. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, we're going to have fun. And AG's going to be there, and probably some other people that you know. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
And
Really looking forward to it.
But tell me some of the opportunities people could come and hear you speak in the upcoming months. Do you have some specific talks that you're giving?
I actually have a talk coming up in January. I have one in Riverside at the Spaghetti Factory in Riverside at 6 p.m.
At the
I'll be
Spaghetti
speaking.
Factory?
Yeah.
And what kind of a meeting is that?
There's a little feedback here, so I didn't quite hear what you said.
What kind of an event is that?
I'm going to be speaking. It's a dinner event, and I will be giving my 3 secrets for safe money and a fabulous future workshop, and then I'll offer everybody a consultation.
Fantastic.
And that'll be at 6 o'clock on the 14th or the 16th of January.
Both of those days or one of those days?
I'll be at both days.
And what's the name of the event?
It's called 3 Secrets for Safe Money and a Fabulous Future.
The group that's putting it on.
Oh, this is a private event. This is a private workshop, but it's open to the public.
Okay. And so do people just show up? Chris? Okay, we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with Chris Miller. I'm Suzy Prudden. This is Mastermind Live with Suzy Prudden on LA Talk Live, where we're more than just talk. And stay tuned. We'll be back in a few moments. Thank you.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Oh, okay.
Journey Sisters is an organization that embodies and captivates women from all walks of life. Our membership includes 44 women that are constantly growing in the areas of personal development and community involvement. Monthly, we offer free leadership classes at McKay's Restaurant. Journey aims to inform women in the areas of heart disease and HIV and AIDS. Experience the journey now by logging into www.journeymosaicinc.com Toll free 888-906-5519. Journey with no excuses.
Brooksy, maker of fine laptop apparel, laptop covers and sleeves, iPhone covers, and unique home decor. Brooksy laptop sleeves are made to order and can be custom made to fit your computer. Just send a message with your order telling us the model and the dimensions of your laptop, and we'll make you your very own sleeve in whichever design you choose. Any of the pillow designs can be turned into laptop sleeves too. Remember, Brooksy for all your computer embellishment needs. You can find Brooksy at www.brooksy.com. That's BROKESY.com. And remember to tell them that you heard it here on LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
I've got so many questions here. Hi. My mic is on? Hi. Welcome back to Mastermind Live with Suzy Prudden and my guest on LA Talk Live, where we're more than just talk. There's a funny sound that I'm getting. Okay, I'll just ignore it. I've got so many, and my guest, Chris Miller, who is a financial advisor, and she's written a book called Ready for Pretirement, and she wants to protect those of us who are, well, we're all getting older. Every single person on this planet's getting older if they stay alive. So, but this is a very good question, Chris, that you have here that you sent me. Why are people so afraid to talk to a financial advisor?
That is a good question. Well, I think the number one factor is fear and distrust. I mean, turn on the TV and watch, and you just watch from the high to the low, from politics to, Wall Street, all the corruption. And
all the what?
And it really, it's from local to national. People can't trust people, and it's really a shame that you can't. In my dad's generation, you could shake a man's hand, and that was the contract,
right.
Man's word. But now you can't trust. People can't trust each other. So there's so much fear, and so people don't reach out.
Well, my biggest concern in talking to a financial advisor is that I'm just going to get a bunch of gobbledygook that I don't understand. That's
right.
And that it's not my interests that are being looked after. It's the interest of the financial advisor that are being looked after. That's my biggest.
You picked up right on it, and I actually think that they keep it complicated on purpose, because that way, if you don't understand it, then they have a control over you.
Right.
And I really noticed that when I was started to do trusts, because I had to go through a big battle as a paralegal. I wasn't giving legal advice. I was giving educational classes. But I was giving the documents as a document preparation service. I was almost giving it away. And they were not happy about that because I was breaking the model, sharing the information, the education for people, so then they can make their own decision because they'll know exactly what's going on.
So what I've tried. You're like an undercover agent.
Yeah, for good. Exactly. 007.
Yes.
Exactly. And I want to share this, and I want to educate people so that they know how money works. Because, we can talk about mindset, and that has a lot to do with when, bringing money and all of that, and but you still get the money, and this is what I've seen, all these entrepreneurs, and they make $1 million. They have no idea where to put the $1 million.
Yeah.
And then they go they go do risky investments or lose their money. I've seen that so much because they don't understand basic money. So I try to make it really simple for the average person. That's why I wrote my book.
Yes, and the name of your book is Ready for
Pre-retirement.
Retirement. And if they go online, they can purchase it on Amazon as well as on your site?
Yes, it was a #1 bestseller on Amazon.
I remember when that happened. That happened while we were at 3 Days to Cash.
Right.
Or just after. And you were whooping it up. I mean, it was really...
I know. Well, it was just, I've been so blessed. Within a year, I had a #1 bestseller. I was invited to Washington, D.C., where I spoke to the U.S. Government Financial Officers Association.
That's amazing. Tell me about that.
It's just incredible. Well, I spoke to the American Payroll Association, and the gal in the audience saw me speak, and she came up to me, and she says, "I want to buy this book for my boss." I had no idea who she was. But she told me, she said she sat in the audience and heard me talk, and she goes, "This lady really knows what she's talking about." She ended up taking my book to her boss, and these people are the people that when you retire from the government, they sign you off. They are the last ones in the pension retirement department on government. And they're the ones that, the officers that all the other states and everybody report to. So they ended up taking the book to the boss, and she turned out to be the director for the Government Financial Officers Association in Washington, D.C., and they invited me to do a keynote to their group, and it really went well. They loved me. They invited me back. And
are you going to set up some programs for them?
Yes, I'm looking at. I have a program called Pre-Retirement Mastery, and it's a course that I'll be offering. In fact, I'll be offering it at your event on showing people how they can learn about each one of these things. What an IUL is, what an annuity is, and learn what steps that they can take, because each age there's something different to do. It's not like you just do one thing, that's it, and you're done. Planning is fluid. It keeps growing, it keeps happening.
Right.
So it's like trimming a rose bush. You trim it, and then you got to water it, and then you got to keep adding to it, taking care of it,
right,
watching it, monitoring it. And then especially in this kind of economy, things are changing and moving so fast. So the course is called Pre-Retirement Mastery.
Is this going to be online?
It's we're working on getting it online. It's not online yet.
So you're going to do it both ways, both in person and online?
Yes, it is it's going to be an online course, and I'm going to be having a teleseminar too in January. It's actually a webinar teleseminar on this workshop that I invited everybody out to in Riverside. I'm also going to be doing teleseminar.
So how do people
really drills down onto that.
How do people find out about that, Chris?
If they email me, I will send them the link. It's free, and it really gives you a really good view of the details of what I'm talking about.
So once again, how do they email you?
Once again, the email is Chris, K-R-I-S, at Ready for Pre-Retirement. So that's READY FORPRETIREMENT.com.
Perfect. That is exciting. And there's a question here that is I'm interested in it. Is it too late for someone near retirement to repair their savings? How does somebody who's had it all and lost it all and is 70 and who's rebuilding it, what do they do?
Well, as you're building your nest egg back up, that you could create the equity index annuity for yourself. And it just really depends. What I would do is privately I would have a talk with you, and I'd find out, what you had, and I'd get you an illustration. So say you had $50,000, whatever, it doesn't matter the amount. Then I'll show you an illustration that shows you how much that account will be worth in 5 years. Because what I want to see for you would be in 5 years that you'd be getting an income that you won't be able to outlive. So when you're probably going to work till you're 110. So, right? Knowing you.
Yeah, knowing me. Well, I had a role model. My mother worked. Well, my mother died 2 years ago when she was 97, and I think she stopped really. The final workshop that she taught 6 months before she died.
Wow,
I
good
know.
for her.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
she was an extraordinary, truly extraordinary woman. And for those of you who are listening or watching, check out Bonnie Prudden, Bonnie Prudden, Prudden, and you can Google her, and she's truly an amazing role model. So she was working, and it was. So I assume you're correct. I will be working till the very end. My sister too. She's a writer, and she's very busy writing books and having a blast. So the two of us. She's going to be 75. And we were laughing about it yesterday. We were having breakfast, and it's just, what would we do if we didn't work? I mean, a friend of mine once said, when I asked her, what are your hobbies? She said, work. And I went, I can relate to that. Work.
Yeah.
Because I love my work, and as you love yours.
Well, don't you think it's fascinating, Suzy, how there's this big fad, especially with women, about all these entrepreneur workshops and all these people recreating themselves and wanting to, get out of the 8 to 5 and get into something where they can give back and share to the world and do their passion. If you have that kind of an energy and a reason to get up in the morning, people are going to be living to 120. Because they have a reason.
And the entrepreneur and the small business owner, we are the backbone of this country, and we are the ones who are creating jobs. And whenever I need an assistant, I don't outsource it to someone out of the United States. If I need someone, I outsource it from my office to somebody in the United States, because I want to keep the money here. I don't want to send it abroad. And as a small business owner, and it's very, very important for me to support people here. I mean, I live here. I want to support other people who live here. And so it makes a huge difference to me.
Right. So in this it does, and recreating, but people are recreating themselves, and so that's why I'm really excited about your event, because that's what I've seen in a lot of events is they leave out the money part of what to do with it when you get it.
Yes.
They say, this is how you make it.
This is how you make it, but they don't tell you what to do with it when you've made it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. The basic, tools.
Well, that's why I asked you to be. That's why I asked you to be a speaker there, because, I don't know what to do with it. I'm not trained there. That's not my expertise. And the other thing that's very important that you mentioned earlier is mindset. And having a money mindset. It's important to have a money mindset, but that's just the beginning.
Right. Exactly. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
It is just the beginning.
Because once you start drawing the money to you as you're talking about it, then what? You hear about all these phenomenal sports players who make millions, and then they're broke. Because they don't know what to do with it.
Exactly. Well, an inheritance, most inheritances last 90 days to 2 years.
Oh, mine lasted longer than that.
And, well, you're different, but...
I spent it, but it lasted longer.
And the lottery, winning the lottery, the people that win the lottery, most of them go, spend their money within 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
A few have really, taken the money and created something good for, the world
or for themselves, for that matter.
For themselves, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just spending it. And so it is way more than mindset. And I think mindset is overblown because it goes right back to an ego thing. Because It's just being smart, but you can't be smart unless you learn. You
Right.
can't learn unless you have the right information.
Well,
but
yeah.
if you're taught the old information that's to a broken model, like the old stock market and the old healthcare system, then you're going to end up in the wrong place, which is what I've seen in 2 decades with all my clients.
Right.
You know, it's so sad, and they come in there and they don't have a plan, or they have a broker that put all their money in the stock market. And
Yeah.
now they're 80 years old and they can't get that money back.
No, they can't.
And they
It's
got to
gone.
go be a Walmart greeter
Or go live in Thailand like my friend.
or live in Thailand.
Yeah.
Like your friend. Right. Well, we want to have control over our lives, so it is not too late to start, and I wouldn't tell anybody it was too late.
Well,
No, I
that
would
that
say-
feels good, because at my age, starting over, because I am starting over and doing really well, actually. I've got some extraordinary coaches. You know some of them. You know AG, and
Right.
he's an amazing coach. And now I've got you to help me maneuver
Right.
the minefield of money.
The minefield of money, that's a great line. And you know what's really cool, Suzy, is a real planner, a real person that knows the minefields of money, walk with you hand in hand along the way. So I just don't sell a product like you go to an insurance agent and they sell your product and then you walk out of the office. I'm a coach. I'm a counselor. So you get the product. Now, what do? It's like daily. There's things that come up. Oh, my kids, they want this, or this is happening, or that, or how do I handle? My husband just got disabled. What do I do now?
Yes, you drive
So
in
it's
to
an
have your car checked, and
ongoing
you
process.
find out you need new brakes. Hello?
Yeah. Hello. Where am I going to get the money? Do I take it from? People that don't even realize they're going to pay 10% penalty if they take it out of their IRA, or they're just really simple things that are really important to know about. Or when you turn 70 and a half, you have to take your minimum distribution from your IRA.
Well, I don't
You
have
get
an IRA,
charged.
so I'm not going to worry about that.
Well, we'll get you something better than an IRA.
Okay, we'll do
And
that.
I just think, you need the big applause and the kudos for showing people it's not an age thing.
No.
Because it's not an age thing. 70 is really 7. The 0 doesn't count, so you're 7 years old.
Well, when it comes to finances, you're probably right. Because I sure know how to make money, but I don't know how to. That's not true. I'm learning how to handle it, but I haven't in the past. So I'm excited about it because it's actually an adventure. It's a whole
Yes.
new. It's a whole new learning. It's a whole new. I mean, it's almost like a new language for me. And
Yeah.
for a lot
Yeah.
of people who were not taught about money.
And you know why they weren't taught about money, so they gave their money away to somebody else that gambled it, and they were actually out of control. They're out of control. They've actually, people are so protective of their money. If they really stepped out of and took an a sky view of what's happening, they would be shocked at what they're doing. They're just throwing their money out the window.
They're giving control to somebody else. And it really has to be, they have to be taught how to be in control.
Exactly.
How to do
Exactly.
how to do the do. And
How
not,
to do it. And it's fun that I can actually make death and taxes fun.
yeah, well, those are the two realities.
Right. And sometimes in my presentations I'll even sing a song. I'm write songs too. So, but the idea is to learn and to educate and get yourself understanding about. It takes the fear away when you know that, Suzy. If you knew that all these things were in place, it gives you a certain peace of mind that you can't get anywhere. It's like you just know you're covered. Well, I mean, you know that if you're with God, but I'm talking about in the material world.
No,
when
I
you got
know
money, you got to know those things are in the right place, and you'll have enough to live on.
Right, that's the big one, because a lot of people right now don't, and it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. My niece and nephew and their son on Christmas Day, there's a restaurant up in Lancaster that closes for business and opens its doors to the homeless and to people in shelters. They spend the entire day feeding the homeless and people in shelters. And it's like there were, at one point, 800 volunteers in this restaurant volunteering so that these people who didn't have anything could have a Christmas dinner. And
Bless their heart.
Yeah, and the restaurant, it funds the whole thing. It's their give back. And
That's
they do
great.
it. Yeah, it really was touching. So my nephew, my niece's son, I guess he's my grandnephew. His picture, of course, was the one in the paper helping because he's so photogenic. And I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it when they show me the paper. But anyway, it's frightening to see how many people right now don't have, and how many people don't have a chance. So tell us again. The name of your book is Ready for Pre-Retirement, and you can get it at Amazon. And your number, yeah,
right. You can get it on Amazon, and you can get it on my website, readyforpretirement.com. That's my website.
And do you have a list on your website of where you will be speaking?
No, actually, I don't.
Write that
right
down
now.
because I have to update mine, but you have to put it in there so when people go onto your website, they can see if you're going to be speaking anywhere in their neighborhood. And,
good idea.
And come to hear what you say is absolutely imperative for people today. They've got to take care of their money.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely.
And what's the number they can call to talk to you?
The number is 951-926-4158. And I work with people all over the country.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
that's so exciting. So
it's so exciting to give people peace of mind and let them know that they can know that they really have everything covered. Their assets are protected. They're protected, and they will have some golden years. But I think retirement is in the state of mind, and that I'm really retired now, even while I'm working.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's what I really like to encourage. Is if you get all these things in order, you will have more of that attitude of retirement even while you're working.
Well,
so it's fun.
Retirement doesn't mean stop. For a lot of people, it means stop. And you know, Chris, it's very interesting. Those people who do stop usually die within 2 years of retirement, whereas those people who don't stop, they find some other meaningful work. They live 10, 15, 20, 30 years beyond retirement. My mother was 97. Yeah. She never stopped.
Yeah, that's right. And that, my dad went to 91. He wouldn't have stopped, but he fell. So it's the same. It's keep on going and find something that's inspiring that you can help other people. Because that, for me, gets me up in the morning. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, and make sure you guys don't be fooled by what you're seeing on TV. This whole economy's fake. And I'm serious. They just had an article. I just got this article. This guy's a stockbroker, and he just posted, and they had him on Fox, and he was saying, well, be prepared. Wall Street Advisor recommends guns, ammo for protection and collapse.
Oh, please.
And they said, well, what's all that about? He's saying, well, look, the numbers aren't very good, so there's going to be an economic tsunami, whether it's, I don't believe in the gun things or whatever, but, whatever it's going to be a catastrophic disaster or a war or something, if you have money in the stock market, realize that you're gambling.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is a gamble.
You need to have a certain portion, I would say, most of your money safe.
Under your mattress.
No, you lose money there.
I know. I just had to say that. But a lot of people buy gold, although gold is a very expensive.
That's the old wise tale, right?
Yeah.
It used to work when there was some interest rates, right?
Right. Right.
Not anymore. You lose money if you put it under the mattress
Sure.
with the inflation and
Right.
goodies like that.
Yeah. But you have to have it safe.
That's right.
And so that's why they
Save
need
money
you.
for a fabulous future.
Fabulous future, not a retirement, a fabulous future.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not. Retirement actually means putting a cow out to pasture. We aren't going out to pasture.
No.
We're going to plant more grass and feed more people.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So once again, your website is?
readyforpretirement.com. And if you go there, there's a free article on there. I also have a really great blog that has lots of free articles, and it's Chris Miller, KRISMILLER, Money Maestro, MAESTRO, Maestro.com. And that's a blog. It has a lot of good articles on there, too, about everything we're talking about.
That's fabulous.
But get the free article. I also have another program called Retire Early with Chris Miller. And you can go online right now, and that is a program that shows you all the little things that I've done to have a #1 bestseller, to create my business online, to set up opt-in pages, websites. It was created for me by internet marketer that just sold his company for $20 million. So he put together all of this whole program of everything that I've done
again?
On the internet.
What's it called again?
Retire Early with Chris Miller, and that's KRIS Miller. Retire Early with ChrisMiller.com, and you can sign up for that. And
that sounds like fun.
It is fun, and it's like really good stuff. I mean, I wish I would have had that program instead of spending all the money on all this stuff I did.
Well,
because see, it's very tricky. There's a lot of these programs out there that don't go anywhere. They look like they're going to be really great, but they only give you so much information.
Yeah.
So then you're ending up like that's what I did when I was published my book and found out I had to do the marketing. Was I ended up with all these programs that only gave me so much information. So I spent a lot of money. That's don't do that.
No,
I spent a lot of money
yeah.
and still ended up having to do it all myself.
Right.
So that's why this program, Retire Early with Chris Miller, has simplified, how to do a web page, how to do blogs, how to do your opt-in, just
That's
really
fascinating. I didn't know you did that.
I just got that. Yeah, just got that created.
That's fantastic. I'm so pleased for you. Let me ask you, when we were at 3 Days to Cash, how many books did you sell?
Oh, dear. I can't remember. A lot. I won the...
I know.
I think I had...
You made the most sales. AG won the most money, having made $3,800. I came in second with $3,600, and you
Right.
came in first, having made the most sales.
Right. And I don't honestly remember, but it was a lot.
I remember.
It was a whole lot.
Yeah.
And everybody I sold a book to, I offered a free financial fitness review, which right now I charge for.
Oh, I bought a book.
I know, and you and I talked. Remember?
No.
Oh, no, I did. We talked.
I believe
At
you.
the time, you were just recreating yourself and
Right.
didn't have every...
So we didn't have the half hour yet, did we?
No. Well, yes, we did, but you and I have endless hours, so don't worry about that.
I'm not worried, sweetie. I'm looking forward to a
No,
long...
I'm happy to help you. But the point was that all those people that bought the books,
Yeah,
that offered the free consultation,
yeah,
I called them, I emailed them.
yeah.
It's so shocking how very few people could take advantage of this offer.
And this
that
is
was
what
gonna-
you do, and this is very important, and anybody listening
Right.
or watching, pay very close attention. Never stop calling them. Never stop calling them. I had someone making my calls, and she said after she'd gone through one of my lists, well, I've been through them twice. I said, go through them again. She said, I don't want to bother them. I said, that's your job description.
Right.
You call, as Eric Lofholm says, market till they buy or die. Adam Urbanski says that as well. And I usually have my gold phone with me. One of the reasons my business is so successful is that we don't stop calling. We don't
Right.
stop calling. I just spoke with someone just before the holidays who we've been calling since July of 2012. And she said
Oh
to
my
me,
gosh.
no, since March of 2012. And she said, and you're just getting back to me? I said, well, let me look at your history, because we keep the history. And I said, no, we called you on the 30th of March. We called you on the 18th of May. We had called her probably 8 times before, 10 times maybe, before we finally got her to either call us back or respond and book an appointment. And the appointment was free.
That is why I've had a successful business, and I have people I've been calling. I have a callback box, and I just go through the cycle of calling
Yep.
these people back since the year 2000.
I don't
some
have
way
people that far back. I mean, I have people, but I had a
10
different
times
business.
already.
I had a different business.
Thank you for calling.
I sometimes leave the message, if you want me to stop calling, let me know. But you're going to have to
Right.
call me to tell me or email me to tell me, because otherwise I'm going to call.
Right.
So give us your phone number one more time.
All right. Thank you. The phone number is 951-926-4158.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
951-926-4158.
Thanks, Chris. It's been wonderful having you as my guest on Mastermind Live with Suzy Prudden on LA Talk Live, where we're more than just talk. Take care and have a Happy New Year.
We know there are many choices for internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.